Please enjoy this feature presentation of the Crooked River Radio Network. This program is rated for all audiences.
Four Guys on Sports is sponsored by CrookedRiverRadio.com. Crooked River Radio is an internet radio station that is live 24/7 playing top 40 hits from the 60s through the 80s. You can find us on Live 365, Simple Radio, Roku, Radio Garden, and even Alexa, as well as our website. Come on and join us on the Crooked River.
Are y'all ready for some football?
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, today I am.
Let's go, Buckeyes.
Yes, sir.
That should be
Boy. I want everybody else to let us down.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't care about no NFL.
Cowboys, boy, might put the noose around their neck.
Yeah, it's called choking. But I'll say this. Once again, I felt like part of it was, well, they got outplayed, granted. I mean, from the standpoint of, they flat out got outplayed, bonehead plays.
Penalties.
The penalties on that game killed them. That's all there was to that.
And I looked at all four of those big pass interference penalties. It was pass interference. I mean, the one, all he had to do was get his head turned around. He did.
Yeah.
I would have hit him in the face.
Yeah. But technically speaking, that was an interesting call because when my man pulled his head, he pulled his head from turning his head around.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, man, it was interesting. He should have been more, more aware. It seems weird that you wouldn't be aware of at that level. Around the first time that.
Yeah, I thought only Cleveland played like that.
And the other part of that was this: Brown's going to get picked on more and more because they tend to stay away from Diggs quite a bit, So he's going to get picked on more and more. And then one of the things that I've said before is that safety, Kazee, which they got from Atlanta for a little bit of nothing, I'm not feeling him, man. I hadn't been feeling him as a safety. I watched him miss play after play. One of the things about being able to be aggressive on the ball is to know that you got a safety back there that's got you back. Mm-hmm. And he ain't that dude. He takes terrible angles, misses opportunities for tackles or hits or what have you. And so looking at that, I'm like, okay, I'm worried about them, but at the same time, I think their pass rush is even going to get better. I don't know if you guys been paying any attention, but that Micah Parsons is a straight up stud. We talking possibly defensive player of the year.
Okay, let me ask y'all this.
He's in the running with it. Miles
Who
Garrett.
y'all take overall, man?
On which game?
Now,
I can't hear you.
your audio is really low.
All of Turkey Day.
There we go.
All of the games. Just what do you think? Overall, was it a good football day? Was it what you expected?
Well, the Dallas and Oakland game was a great game to me. I thought it was very competitive, although Dallas was, as far as Thanksgiving Day now, the Detroit it's about as exciting as watching paint dry,
And Detroit just absolutely stinks. They're not going to win a game.
I think they fired their coach already.
God, it's horrible to watch that. As a fan, I don't think Detroit should be allowed to play on Thanksgiving Day again.
Now wait a minute, Gordon. You watched 2 years and 3 games of a non-winning Cleveland. You ain't going to tell me it's that bad.
Detroit is horrible, man. And I say this. The reason I say it is they get to play every Thanksgiving just like Dallas. And Don't get me wrong. It was exciting when they had the big receiver, Kelvin Johnson, and it was exciting to watch when they had Barry Sanders. But for the most part, I mean,
That program in Detroit needs a lot of work. Whoever coaches that next is going to have his hands full.
Let's keep it real though. It wasn't like Detroit was out there scrimmaging amongst themselves. They had another sorry team out there.
True.
Yeah.
True. And I talked about that with a coworker beforehand. It's like, you know what? It's Thursday. There ain't gonna be much on TV, so I'll probably wind up watching it. And then I didn't watch the other game, the late game. I didn't even watch it, but they had a house full of people. So oh yeah, I did. I did watch some of the Buffalo and Saints, but we knew what was going to happen because I think the Saints is one of the most shorthanded teams in the NFL right now. They don't have anybody. If you show up with your cleats, you might get to play. That's how bad they are right now. How short-handed they are.
The difference between Detroit and Chicago. I mean, to be quite frank, you take all those teams, put them together, man. I don't know if you can get one decent team out of combining all of them.
Mm-hmm. But I think for the most part, the Dallas and Oakland game was a good game. It was exciting.
Yeah, 28 penalties. I don't know. It was.
But and oh yeah, well, all the penalties in the Detroit-Chicago game, especially on Detroit. But I think the referees wanted to be the stars this past Thursday anyway, because man, them cats they were throwing flags left and right. I'd like to see.
Oh
yeah.
God.
Yeah, I'd like to see where, as far as penalties go for Thanksgiving Day, I bet this was probably the most. And don't get me wrong, most of Dallas's penalties was deserving.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean they called the game, you know. I mean, but the thing is, yes, penalty by letter of the law. But if I've been looking at games and it's not being consistently called like that, some games it is, some games it ain't. That's what makes it hard as a fan.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, some days it is, some days it ain't type stuff, and it just makes it really hard. Makes it, you know, difficult as a fan. You don't know what to expect, and it definitely. I mean, that was just too many penalties. 28 penalties is far too many.
Mm-hmm.
But the Chicago-Detroit game, I don't know why, man. They even tortured us, man, having that game played all the way through, man.
Yeah, they shouldn't be allowed to play on Thanksgiving Day. But I mean, you set the schedule beforehand, and keep in mind the two teams that always get to play on Thanksgiving Day is Dallas and Detroit. And the history behind that is they got those games because no one wanted them initially. The other franchises didn't want them. And Dallas got them, and Dallas, especially with Jerry being the one thing he's good at is marketing. And him being the marketing genius that he is, he took the ball and ran with it. Yeah.
It feels they definitely have to reevaluate because it seems like they forced us to watch some stuff that no one would want to watch. No one wants to see Detroit. No one wants to see Chicago.
True.
They forced us to watch that. And you know, you could take them playing somebody else. You know, you can watch, you know, Detroit playing, you know, New England or Chicago playing the Bulls. You can watch that, okay? Even though you know they're going to get their heads bashed in. But you can watch that. But to see those two teams play one another, man, and oh, my God. I mean, such undisciplined, just garbage, man. It was like it was like the little, you know, the youth football league, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the Detroit and Pittsburgh game was a lot more exciting.
Yeah, it was more exciting. It was far more.
You know,
exciting.
that's the one thing about Detroit, though. They always hang. If you've watched them since the first of the season, they're only losing by a couple of points every time, and you know, or they tied Pittsburgh. They lost by 3 by us, or what, 3 or 4, and even with the Chicago, they only won by like 2, or Chicago only won by 2 points.
And then the kick, you know, by Baltimore. That's that.
And
Oh, yeah.
they're hanging in. They just can't get over the hump.
They can't, right. But you know what? And it shows that there's some things there, but I don't know what it is with them. But that game against Cleveland, I was ready to go in there and fire everybody in Cleveland. That ticked me off, man. One of the things that my brother there, he feels like, okay, you're supposed to go in there and beat them by 40 points. Rarely does a team get beat by 40 in the NFL. But I'll say this: Cleveland should have beat them by at least 2 scores.
They should have beat them by 10, I thought.
14 points. And that one there, man, I couldn't be more unimpressed with a win ever.
You know what it is for me though. I'll be honest, man. And I feel like I need to apologize, man, to everybody, because I was so high on Cleveland. I mean, I was feeling myself. Nah, I don't even feel right wearing my Cleveland gear. I got so much Cleveland gear. But here's the thing, man. At some point, you have to take a long look. You have to say, okay, far what the record says, and potential is potential. They really don't have. It's like, man, it's like having a gold mine at the bottom of the ocean and not knowing which ocean or where and how far it is.
Hey, Nate, let me say one thing. Let me pause you just for a second. If you get a little closer to the mic, you sound better. Your sound.
Yeah, you're awful light again.
I can only get so close. I'm in.
That's better.
You sound good now.
Okay, and it might be this fan that's on too. But I was saying is that, at some point we have to realize that you are what you are. You are your record. And potential is great, but I said potential is just like having, or having a belief that there is a gold mine, but unfortunately the gold mine is buried under the bottom of an ocean, but you don't know what ocean, and you don't have a location. I mean, that's what potential is,
Okay.
And so when you look at Cleveland, man, because I was so high on them at the beginning of the season. I really felt like they were a Super Bowl contender. I really did. And now I'm like, man, they're not a playoff team legitimately. They're not a playoff team. They're awful. It's like you are what your record says you are. Forget potential. You're what your record says you are.
I hear what you said, and there's two things. There's a couple factors, and on one where you were pretty much right. I don't totally agree with you on, but you're pretty much right on, is the fact of this. First off, their quarterback is fair. Okay? Now. Okay? Then the other thing is this, and we said this, barring the injury, Cleveland should do da-da-da-da-da. Well, I think with the injury, because what Cleveland is a power run team. That's what they are. And forget about all this throwing the ball around, because first and foremost is this. You have a middle-of-the-road quarterback. So, and even the great quarterbacks we see come out and stink it up and have a game where they stink it up. So a middle-of-the-road quarterback is going to stink it up even more. He's going to have more games where he stinks it up. So those are two things right there. And then the other thing is this. When you have a defense that's built like Cleveland's, they are a defense that can get after you much, much better when they're playing with a lead.
Right. To me, they're a low IQ team. Their football IQ is terrible. I mean, they're undisciplined. I mean, that's the reason why we keep talking about the potential. The potential is not going to be realized. They they have the physical, it's their physical. They have the quote unquote talent, but they don't have the football IQ to go along with it.
No, don't get me wrong. And also, and I said barring injury, because of that and some of the injuries, there was some holes in that secondary. Okay, now, Myles Garrett is going to be Myles Garrett, which means a lot of times if someone else doesn't step up, he's going to get double teamed all night. Okay, now, so with all that being said, is they're a good defense, but and keep in mind, one of the best defenses, well, when healthy, to me in football right now, is the New Orleans Saints. But they have no offense. Their offense is non-existent now, and they also have injuries now on defense as well. But that's the nature of football, also in there. Now, with that being, I mean, the defense. Now, if you look at the defenses in this league, all you need, if you have a great offense, all you need is an okay defense. Okay. And Cleveland has that. So when you look at it, and I disagree with undisciplined to the point of if you want to talk about undisciplined, let's look at Dallas Cowboys defense.
See.
All the penalties. That's where you say undisciplined. Or
they're heavily penalized. They're heavily penalized.
Yeah, they're the number one penalized team in the league is Cowboys.
I mean, I just think that Cleveland, I feel like, I honestly felt like Cleveland had more talent than Dallas. I felt like Cleveland was a legitimate Super Bowl team.
Well, they do get two players back this week, though.
Even though I
get Hunt and Conklin back.
I like Dallas, but I thought that everything, the stars needed to line up properly for Dallas.
Reason I put Dallas right along with Cleveland now is this, and one of the reasons I say that is this. Okay, if we taking quarterbacks head to head, our quarterback is way better than your quarterback. Right. Way better. Mm-hmm. Okay, now think about this. On offense, who touches the ball every down?
Quarterback. Obviously, quarterback.
I'll rest my case.
I get that. But I thought that, look, Cleveland's O-line, I thought that, man, you give your quarterback an hour to throw the ball most of the time. It's just fought because he don't know when to get rid of it, which really breaks my heart, but okay. But then, again, we keep what we expected to see from them defensively and what we knew we would see from them on the run game. I just thought, man, that they were just, man, I penciled them in. I just knew. That's the reason I felt like if they didn't win the Super Bowl, I was like, man, that's not a good season for them. Because I'm like, man, the team is loaded. But then, I go back to this thing about discipline, and I'm like, why are you falling apart? Why you play so bad defensively? Why are you not winning? Where's that consistent defensive? Where do you bring that at? That defensive tenacity, and it's not there consistently. It's discipline, yeah. and discipline is the same in all sports, man. It's a decision. Mm-hmm. The defense is a real decision, and man, you got to be disciplined, man, to go out there and make that decision, man. Play after play, man. Snap after snap. To get after it on the defensive side of the ball. Cleveland doesn't have it.
I really thought that they should be in the AFC. They could possibly make the AFC Championship. I didn't feel like they could win the Super Bowl. And to be honest, reason being is this: before the season started, was this. First and foremost is it Baker. When you look at these quarterbacks that we thought probably would maybe be, Super Bowl contenders. When I look at them versus the quarterback position, there's no way Baker can outplay these dudes.
Yeah, but the team was so stout everywhere else. All he needed to do was just not lose it for them or lose games for them. But he loses games. He makes bad plays for them. And like you said, to his point, I mean, he's not perfect. There isn't a perfect quarterback in the league, so
No.
I'm not suggesting that he should be perfect. I'm just simply saying that I expected more from him, but at the same time, I expected more from Cleveland. Period. And that's why I'm saying they're a team with a ton of potential, but at some point in time, man, you just have to recognize, say they are what they are, man. They're their record. They're just not what was expecting them to be, and I don't think they're a playoff team. And when you're sitting at the bottom, of a Eastern Conference, you don't deserve to be in the playoffs at this point. Now, unless you're gonna run the table the rest of the season, and I don't see them doing that.
You have to look at this. I don't know what their schedule looks like the rest of the season, but and it's just like with Dallas. I think they'll still make the playoffs. Now, don't get me wrong, Eagles are getting better.
Cleveland has got one of the roughest schedules at the end of any of the NFL teams. We've got Cleveland does. We've got Baltimore coming up twice now. We have we play them this Sunday. That's a night game. Starts, I think, at 8:20. Then we have a bye week. Then we come back and play Baltimore here. Then you have Cincinnati. You have another Pittsburgh. And it's not going to be an easy. It's not going to be an easy game. Or none of those are going to be easy games.
At the beginning of the season,
And then I know they got Green Bay.
that wrap up, and I would have said that's a wrap. I would have expected them to run the table. A broken Baltimore. I don't know how they're winning games.
Shit.
They have played with a rabbit's foot. I mean, I granted Lamar's all that. I mean, they play with a rabbit's foot, man. I mean, they're broken Baltimore. Pittsburgh is awful. I mean, so how they lost to Pittsburgh or why they lose to Pittsburgh, those are grudge matches. Baltimore and Pittsburgh and Cleveland just don't have they don't have it. That's what I'm saying. Discipline, they don't have it, man. They shouldn't, man, come on, man.
And Shawn was right. We do play Green Bay.
Now that's a team right there that is capable of beating anybody. Pittsburgh. Anybody. You look at them consistently. First and foremost, and reason being is this, first and foremost, Aaron Rodgers, he just is what he is.
Green Bay.
Hmm?
You said Pittsburgh.
I'm going to say Green Bay.
Oh, okay, so thank you, because that's why I laughed.
Yeah, I was a little confused there myself.
Excuse me, I meant Green Bay.
Yeah, okay.
Green Bay is a team that's capable of beating anybody. And Pat, I disagree with you on Cincinnati for this reason. Cincinnati, first and foremost, man, they can't protect that dude.
Well, it depends on what Cleveland shows up to. Cleveland's almost getting to be the point like New Orleans. You never know what they're going to play or how they're going to play.
True.
And the other thing I wanted to mention, did you see that Buffalo game the other night? Man, they came out to play. That was all there was to that.
Well,
but they got their ass beat the week before.
But keep in mind this right here. They're without their top receivers, their quarterback. They're without, three defenders, three of their top defenders. You got game-changing players on both sides of the ball that they just can't.
You're starting to excuse here, Gordon. We're starting to get excuses here, and this is the NFL. There is no excuses.
I agree. And you're right in the fact of, and I'll say this, in the fact that when, it's supposed to be next man up. This is professional sports, granted. Okay. But that next man up, when that man that goes out, say Amari Cooper, who's getting $21 million a year, and you put a guy in there who in comparison is getting paid peanuts, and he's dropping balls, you understand why.
Yeah.
He's not in the starting lineup.
I started a thing on Facebook a couple of weeks ago, and it's gotten some fairly good traffic. And that is no more excuses, Browns. I am so sick and tired of hearing excuse after excuse from this team. It's pathetic. And it's getting that way with the NFL. It's like commercials on television. You play 60 minutes of football, and you have 6.5 days of excuses to the next game.
And I agree with you, but I'm going to say this. And you guys keep forgetting this right here. Okay. Cleveland is a run dominant team. If they don't have Chubb and Kareem, man, and you asking a middle of the road quarterback to carry you, now that's fool's gold right there, Nate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No excuses.
But they're even their backup running back. He's demonstrated that he's gifted. In their absence, in every game, he's not disappointed one single game. So their run game, it has not looked good every time, but it has looked pretty good. He has not been the reason why it has not looked good. So that's not even it. It's just all the way across the board. That's what I'm saying. The team lacks discipline. It's on both sides.
I'm going to tell you, it's not just across the board. It's some of this coaching needs to go. That defensive coordinator, Joe, what's his name?
The Woods.
Woods. He needs to go. He doesn't take and adjust things as the game is playing, and that's why there was a couple of games there they could have probably had a chance of winning, but he wouldn't adjust. He didn't go into the locker room at halftime and adjust. They just kept playing the way they were supposed. They designed over the course of the last week, and that didn't work. And then therefore he didn't adjust, and even Garrett came out and talked about that on a couple of press conferences. If you don't adjust, you're going to get your ass beat if it's that bad, And that's what ended up happening. They got it. That defensive coordinator needs to go. That's all there is to it. I liked him in the beginning, but it's inadequate. And that's part of the problem as far as the defense goes. Offensively, I think some of the offensive calls could have been different too. But I'm not going to go as far as to blame Stefanski or his coordinator for that yet. The jury's not out. As far as I'm concerned, the jury's still out on that one.
Yeah. And I agree with you on that, Pat, because they know their personnel and they know what they can and can't do. And clearly there's some things that you got to, as a fan, you want to see do this or that, but they know their offensive personnel. They really do. And as far as the run game goes, is one of the reasons, and that running back, he ran pretty good, but I'm going to say this. Teams don't game plan for him. If they know that he's going to be the running back, they'll shut him down.
Well, they're doing that with Chubb now too. A year ago, they didn't know what Chubb could do.
You game plan. And I get what Nate says. Nate is saying, well, hey, look, they don't game plan for this other cat. Throw him in there. Mix it up. Mix it up till they start game planning for him. It's just like with Tony Pollard, man. Everybody's singing his praise. Don't get me wrong. Tony Pollard is a great running back. And he could be so much better if he played with a Aaron Rodgers or a team that, even as bad as they are now and as shorthanded as they are now, nobody runs screens with their running backs out the backfield better than New Orleans Saints and Green Bay Packers. That screen pass, when they throw the ball, you look up and it looks like he's got the whole team in front of him to block. So he just picks which, hey, do I go this way, that way? I got options. And I watch Cleveland, I watch Dallas. They throw that little weak bubble screen that they do in high school, and you figure it's one-on-one, and you got a stud out there at covering the back out the backfield, and they're making tackles. Or sometimes you got three guys out there. So they just done, there's some things that, as far as from a offensive coaching standpoint, until they can figure out how to run that little screen pass. If you think about the Saints, and you think about how well they did with what's his name, little bitty Darren Sproles. Darren Sproles a little bitty guy, and man, they used to kill teams with that. Just a thought.
All right, so we got to change up a little bit. We got the game today.
Yeah.
The team up
The
north.
team up north.
Buddy.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Been waiting for this one all year.
Yeah.
You ranked, boy.
Man. You got the
Battle.
Heisman hopeful and Mr. Stroud there.
Man,
Hopefully they'll have that big game like he did last week against Michigan State.
Oh man.
Man, I'm telling you, this is gonna be a tough game right
The
here.
temperature at game time is supposed to be 28 degrees, and there's a pretty good chance it's going to be snowing most of it.
Oh my God.
And they're playing in Michigan too, right?
Yep, they play in Michigan this year.
Woo!
This ain't gonna be no blowout.
No,
It's
No.
gonna be nip and tough.
no. You have 3 versus 5.
2 versus 5.
Oh, 2 versus 5. Woo! It's gonna be good.
It's the biggest game. This is the biggest game of the year. Period. To me, I mean, period. Right here. This right here because
This is going to decide who's going to be in the playoffs right here.
Yeah, they got the Buckeyes up. They got them 8-point spread.
I don't know where to get that 8-point spread from, man.
They going off the analytics of how many points they've been putting up.
It's a far better team, man. This is a grudge match too. Again, so this is not like just okay, you're a better team than them, and you're gonna come out and man, it's a grudge battle. Even if they had lost 10 games, man, if they were 0-10, you would expect this to be a game. Grudge match.
Now I'm gonna say this for Harbaugh, man. Hey, phew. Man, all eyes are looking on. I don't think he'd be fired if they lost.
He's had an outstanding season. And think about it like this. Keep this in mind. Yeah, they want him to beat Ohio State. But you'd absolutely be out your mind to get rid of this guy that turned this program around like this, and you're going to get rid of him for what? Who are you going to get? Just because you get somebody, ain't no guarantee you're going to beat Ohio State right now. It'll have its time. It'll eventually come. But, nah, man, you can't. To me, that would be foolish.
I agree. No, I'm saying they won't get rid of him, but it's going to be some people cry for his head because of when you think of fan is derived from the word fan. What is it?
Fanatic.
Fanatic. Excuse me. Yeah. Thank you. So it's going to be some people that scream, if Ohio State wins, and then it depends. Ohio State wins and how they win. I don't think they'll win like they did against Michigan State. And then I must also say this. I'm sorry, Michigan State was overrated. Man. They were overrated, man. Nobody comes in rated that high and get the brakes beat off of them like that.
Oh no, man. First of all, no. Ohio State, man. They were. This team is tuned in right now. This team is playing. Remember, they were ranked high early in the season. This team now is deserved to be ranked where they're ranked. They're definitely a top 3-4 team. Okay,
I'm talking about Ohio State. Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
No. I mean Michigan State was overranked.
They were appropriately ranked.
Nah,
but you got a number 2 ranked. You got a 2-ranked team. Anytime you talk about any team within that top 4, they supposed to beat the brakes off people, but in a grudge match, it's usually harder. But when Ohio State scored, Michigan, man, I'm telling you, they went into it was panic mode. Everything was rushed. Everything became difficult. It's hard to play from behind. Ohio State is probably one of the greatest front-running teams in the country.
I agree with that. But I'm saying this. I'm sorry, Michigan State. First off, you got to start looking at who their victories were and how what their victories were against what opponents. And I'm saying when you in the top 10, you're not supposed to get beat like that. I don't care who you are. And when you're in the top 10, you're not supposed to get beat like that. So
it shows how dominant you are as a team, though.
Yes, man, they beat them like they were playing University of Akron.
Yeah, and it really would have been bad had they really kept them starters out there. For first and second half. First half and a play in the second half. But then they've been punishing people like that all season, basically, since they've righted their ship after about the first 3 or 4 games.
True. And I felt like this was one of their this would be a more battle tested team. And because and don't get me wrong, Their defense, because even when they start out early in the season, and you were really hard on that quarterback, which I felt like he continued to improve, and he wasn't bad. My thing was this: the defense was horrible.
Yeah.
Ohio State's defense was one of the. I was like, oh my God, they look like Texas. And so when you start talking about that, I mean, if let's face it, okay, say they came down here, say they had to play Texas, and they go beat the brakes off of Texas, you would expect for them to beat the brakes off of Texas. Texas is a horrible program now. It's not a respected program.
What, 4-7 or 5-7?
Yeah,
Like
and how they lose, and I think they wound up losing that game yesterday, didn't they?
I don't know. Jeez.
You know what I like? If everything holds true to the way it is, I like the way the board set up the playoffs. Okay, they got tired of people complaining about Cincinnati should be there. Cincinnati should be there. So what they did was they put Cincinnati at the 4th spot. Now come on now, everybody know that 1 and 4, if it holds true, you know, to the playoff start, since he's in that 4th spot, they're gonna get their heads bashed in against Georgia. And everyone knows that. And 2 and 3, whether you flip Ohio State and Alabama 2-3-3-2, okay, you got them two going at each other. I'm expecting, it's kind of I expect Ohio State to come out that game because I expect Ohio State to come out with a sense of urgency, looking for revenge. You know, they're on a revenge tour from last season, just like they did against Clemson last year. So I expect them to come out, beat Alabama, assuming everything holds true. Okay. And then I expect to see the number 1 defense against the number 1 offense in the you know, the last game for the championship. But I do like what the playoff committee did. They said, okay, let's juggle this thing around. All right, fine. Cincinnati, okay, y'all want to, you know, whatever. So we're gonna see what y'all made of. We're gonna put y'all right here at this number 4 spot, and then you're gonna show us what you made of.
And you know what? And before, when everybody was hooping and hollering about Cincinnati, and I'm looking at games again, I look at opponents too. I look at opponents. You know, you got to look at a team's schedule. That says a lot about, you know, where you should be ranked. You know, and when the opponents that you're beating, you know, I mean, come on, man. When you're doing that, and most of them you should be beating anyway. I'm not saying that Cincinnati's not a good program, you know, but right now I don't think they're like these other schools, you know, and it's just one of those things, you know. So in that, you know, you look at your schedule, and if you playing in the one of the lesser tier conferences. And you run the table, that doesn't mean, you know, you ready for the Bamas or Ohio States or typically the UCLAs or you know, the teams that now. And also in this, I'm waiting to see. I want to see Oklahoma play somebody else too, man. I want to see them play one of these other teams because I kept telling people I wasn't feeling Oklahoma. And reason being, a couple things. First off, Big 12, reason they were leading the Big 12. Big 12 is not a good program anymore. Big 12 was fun, has always been fun to watch because they score a lot of points. Defense is not the strong suit of the Big 12. So you got these teams jumping out there, and I don't know why Texas wants to go over there to the SEC because of this right here. Man, they'll never make the playoffs. So they say never, but
that money.
You got teams like Georgia and Bama over there. But their thought process is this. Yeah, their thought process is this. It'll help us in our recruiting.
Oh, yeah.
But look at LSU. Look at where they are now. They're in the basement, man. Elgeron is gone.
They're talking about LSU looking at the Baylor coach, Rainda.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. Now, that's a program that's kind of always up and down. You better watch them. That's a team That's another team, Nate, that if you look at them, although it's Big 12, they subject any, to come out and beat some of these teams. You just don't see it coming. And to me, right now, that's one of my favorite. Oklahoma always does well in recruiting, but Baylor tends to be one of the more balanced teams.
Yeah, Baylor is pretty good at both football and basketball.
Yeah. Baylor tends to be right there, close somewhere. They don't usually. Years ago, Baylor was the laughing stock of the the bigger programs in basketball and football. Now Baylor is pretty close always in basketball and football.
All right.
So we're getting ready to do picks here.
Hey, I think we're getting ready to do some picks, guys.
Any quick basketball stuff we want to cover first?
A whole lot of things.
Too much stuff. We don't want to run over time, but now that you bring that up, just a quick thing. I have looked at that, the incident, the LBJ incident. There's no way that was on purpose, man. I'm like, I listen to Skip Bayless talk, man. I'm like, Bayless, man, that dude on something, man.
Well,
Skip Bayless, he dissecting the slow-mo like you got, dude, man, it's a slow-mo. He didn't turn and stand there and stare at this dude and didn't take a shot at him. Like, this is
I think he meant to hit him, like let him know when to get off.
He meant to hit him, get him up off of him.
And I think he meant to hit him hard. But his intentions weren't that.
I believe his intentions were just like he said. He's trying to hit him, get him up off of him. He didn't realize the guy's head was going to be way down there. I mean, his head was way down there. And he got clobbered, and he only got clobbered with his backhand. You look at it, the elbow never even hit. I looked at you look at it again, pull it up and keep looking at it. The elbow never hit. The back of the hand caught it, which is a good shot still. Don't get me wrong. That thing came, it swung, good force on it. That backhand, that's all it takes. That's a soft spot. Man, I listened to Skip Bayless talk, man. I was like, come on, Skip.
Well, and I think it's this. Okay. And I think right away when he hit him where he hit him and saw that, it's like, whoa, like, I didn't mean to do that to you. And he did try and reach out to him. And like everyone was saying, the one thing about it is how that guy reacted caused the suspension, I think.
Yeah, right. Because I don't think either one of them initially would have been suspended, but they may have suspended LeBron, but I doubt it. I think, getting ejected from the game would have been par for the course. But
right, and that was deservingly so.
When he acted like he had no home training, man, he had nothing else to do, man. I mean, that was...
Well, I'm gonna say this. He really didn't want to fight.
No, because the way he was plowing over people, if he plowed on like that, he would have ran up on him. He would have got it.
Well, my thing is this. When you look at that, and when DeAndre Jordan stepped out there and was like, no, dude, back off. What did he do? Did he go at DeAndre Jordan? No. First off, he's smart enough to pick his battles. But, most of these basketball players, they jump out there and they take these swipes and swings because they know there's people out there to stop all that. Most of them don't want that anyway. Most of them don't. But also in that is this. When you reach that point, and I say this about LeBron, you're okay. It would be one thing to be self-defense, but the way he handled it is, okay, I'm ejected, I'm gone, I'm not, you, first off, you can't get out there and brawl like that. You the face of the league. Mm-hmm. So if they hold this dude and you walk off, man, you walk off, that's the best thing. That's what you should do. Because also in that is this, he's not a kid. He's not a 20, 21-year-old kid. He's a grown man, okay? He knows that, all right, look, first off, no good comes of this if we get out here and slug it out. If I get out here and knock this dude out, you can't win at that point. The winning thing is to turn around and walk off. Now, granted, you have people out there say, "Oh, he did this or he didn't do that," but you know what? Most of those people that say that are ignorant. But anyway, I'm done with that one.
I actually had a chance to sit and watch that Space Jam with LeBron in it. I heard reviews on it that said that thing stunk. I didn't think it was that bad. Good look.
I didn't think it was that bad. It was a kid. It was like a kid show. It wasn't that bad to me. I didn't think it stunk at all.
I enjoyed the first one better, but I didn't think it stunk.
Yeah, I like the first one better too. The acting was a little bit better.
It was a lot more I guess the more we get, the more high tech type stuff we go into, and I enjoy that a lot less.
Yeah, it was real techy. This one was way.
Yeah, at points it almost looked like an advertisement for Warner Brothers.
It did, and that was the thing about it. Whereas, and that is where we are moving toward. The creative writing on anything nowadays.
Yeah. All right, let's move into the picks. It's about that time.
Yep.
Shawn, give us an update.
Everybody caught up with Gordon by one game because he lost in that New Orleans Buffalo game. And
I didn't know they was gonna have all them injuries, man.
Yeah. And then so.
God.
All right, well, let's get started this week. The first game on the docket is Pittsburgh at Bengals.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Take the rabbit foot, Pittsburgh. They got
Well,
rabbit foot.
the thing about it is this: that defense is gonna get after Burrow.
They're going to be minus T.J. Watt, though.
Oh, you know what? That's gonna make a difference right there.
They get too many calls. Pittsburgh, man, it's like still like kind of like it's still like one of the man. They still get a lot of reputation calls, man. 'Cause they didn't really beat Chicago.
Let me tell you how it's going to be.
All right.
This is how it's going to be.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Pittsburgh! Pittsburgh sucks! Pittsburgh sucks! Pittsburgh sucks! Pittsburgh sucks!
I like Joe Burrow though, man. They got to right the ship, man. They got to get things back going. They win a nice groove.
And they did just beat the Raiders, too, so. Bengals did.
Cowboys didn't.
Yeah, no.
I know, man. That hurts even more, Shawn. Damn, man. I almost punched you, man, for reminding me of that one. Yeah, but they did beat the Raiders.
I will take
I
the.
think that was a jab, man.
I'll take the Bengals.
You gonna take the Bengals, Dad?
Yeah, I'll take the Bengals there.
I think I'm leaning toward the Bengals because they're at home.
Yeah.
But and let's face it, Pittsburgh doesn't really have an offense anymore.
Cincinnati got a far better quarterback at this point.
Yeah. So who are you taking there, Nate?
Oh, Cincy, of course. Joe Burrow, man.
Okay. All right, next game is Tampa Bay at Indianapolis. Indianapolis has been playing,
Indianapolis been balling. But
especially that Taylor kid.
Time get his mojo going consistently, man. He needs to get it going, man.
It's being played at Indiana.
Oh, and he got Gronk back too.
Yeah.
It's going to end up being Bill against Brady. I see that coming. So I'll take Tampa.
Yeah, I think I'm taking Buccaneers.
Gronk took that little vacation, man. Had to step away, man. Get his head clear.
I'm gonna be the opposite of you guys. I'm taking Indiana.
But you know what? They hadn't been playing well with Tampa Bay. Really hadn't been playing that well.
No,
Now,
they haven't. But,
I
you
say
know,
this. What is, let's see. So Gronk will be back, and who else is supposed to be back? Won't they get somebody else back this week?
Well, can they stop the run? That kid though from running all over him. That dude has been hot.
I'm taking Tampa Bay, man.
yeah, Indy's just been playing. You know, they've been on the uptick. It's time for come back down. Man. Spoiler alert, man.
I'm taking spoiler. I'm going Indianapolis.
No, I'm saying they putting out a spoiler alert
Yeah.
that, and it's not gonna happen because the GOAT's gonna be in the house. Man.
All right. Next game is Carolina at Miami.
I gotta go with Carolina. They
Because of Cam.
Washington, man.
Well, Miami's been a disappointment, man. I thought they were going to be better.
Okay. So you going?
I'm going Carolina as well.
Okay.
Yeah, they lost a tough one against Washington. That was actually a really good game.
Yeah. So who you going with, Dad?
Carolina.
Okay. All right. Next game is Tennessee at New England.
Oh my God, man. Whew. Well,
Tennessee just got beat by Houston.
running back is still gone, right? For Tennessee, right? He's not back yet, right?
No, he's not back. And
Man, I'm telling you, I think New England has a chance to run the table, man, the rest of the season, man. Man, I'm feeling, man, baby Brady there. Back attack, boy.
you know what though? I'm not so sure that we gonna see Brady. It could be Green Bay. It could be Arizona. I just don't know how real Arizona is, but they still handling their business, man.
Yeah.
But I tell you, the reason why, I like New England so much, I can appreciate, that quarterback he's very, as a young quarterback, man. I mean, you talking about on the bottom. I mean, man, he getting, man. I mean, he on the milk, man. I mean, he like baby, man. I mean, he just follow directions. He followed directions to a T.
Okay.
Man, that Herbert kid though, I hear what you say about him. That what's the name, Herbert kid, that other quarterback, man, that boy's a bad boy. One of the best out there.
Oh, they're giving New England 6.5. It's minus 6.5.
Minus 6.5.
That's what the spread is.
Man, they just doing that because they want to, look and talk about how great they're doing. Man, I think they I don't know if it's going to be, they're going to win, but I don't think it's going to be by much. And even if they lose, it's not going to be by much. It's going to be a real good game. I think it's going to be a very good game. I'm just going to pull it out.
I'm sorry, in the
Tennessee game.
New England and you say
It's Tennessee at New England.
Tennessee in New England.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh-wee.
It's going to be a tough game.
But they playing in New England, right? They playing in Foxborough. I'm taking New England because they playing there, and the edge goes to them for two reasons: because of where they're playing, three reasons: that great defense and Belichick just being Belichick.
And they're going to deflate them balls, baby. No.
All right, so everybody in agreement on New England?
Yep.
Okay. All right, the next game then is Philadelphia at the Giants. So I'm taking
Philly.
Oh,
They ain't even close.
But,
That's a gimme for me.
are they still? They close the season out yet? Yeah, it's got to be Philly, man.
Well, see, and then the Giants they're beat up. Also, I saw where they fired their offensive coordinator Garrett, but I don't.
Yeah, they fired Garrett, and then they're bringing in Kitchens as the coordinator.
I bet that didn't fix anything. and I really think that Man, they should start from the top and just clean the house up from the general manager on down.
They're giving Philly 3.5.
Can't do too much firing right now because you got a shortage of coaches right now. Because look how many teams, man, really could justify firing the coach. You got Chicago, you got Detroit, New York, and some of the teams that's a little more inconsistent. You can question some of them.
All right, then the next game is Atlanta at Jacksonville.
I'm going with Hot Atlanta. Ain't nobody hurt down in Atlanta right now, right?
But they haven't been able to score any lately.
They've been awful lately. I mean, they have been really bad. I almost want to go with Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm going with Jacksonville on that one.
I think I gotta go with Jacksonville. Atlanta has been awful. I think they've lost their confidence, man.
It's a -1 for Atlanta.
Yeah, they're awful right now.
I'll take Jacksonville.
Okay.
I think Urban's got to win one.
All right.
He's got to win another one anyway to keep his job.
And then the next game after this is Jets at Houston.
Houston, heck, they just beat Titans, man. I'm taking Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're favored 2.5. I'll take Houston.
Okay. All right. Next game is Chargers at Denver.
I think Chargers is ready. I don't think Denver going to do it pull off another what they did, even though
I'm going Chargers.
I'm going Chargers.
Yeah, I'll take the Chargers. Just because it's a West Coast team.
What about you, Nate? No.
It's snowing up there, man. I turn back, look at the game, man. It's snowing there. Michigan got snow.
Yeah. You got Chargers at Denver there, Nate. Who you got?
Oh my God, man! It's like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You know, you
Stars.
got like the Denver team that played against. Oh my God, you got the Chargers.
Cowboys ain't as good as their record.
I gotta go with the Chargers. Though.
Yeah.
I don't expect Denver to beat.
All right, then you got the Rams at Green Bay.
Oh my God!
Green Bay.
Oh man!
That's another pick.
No.
But
The Rams,
what's his name is out still with Green Bay, right?
Rams kind of look like they're
Aaron Jones and see. Let me look. Let me tell you. Let me see here.
Green Bay just got beat by Minnesota last week. So.
Hey, what's the likelihood of Aaron Rodgers man getting beat twice? But it wasn't like they got beat down. You know.
Yeah. It was a 3-point game there.
Likelihood of Rodgers getting beat twice, but at the same time, Rams lost before they bye week though.
Mm-hmm.
But and I'm gonna say this.
Think Odell Beckham has learned the plays yet?
You know that right there may be the game, man, of the week. But let's say injury update.
Man, that's gonna be a hard game. It's gonna be as close as the Minnesota game was.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's being played at Green Bay too. So
I think I'm gonna say because I think I'm going with Green Bay because it's gonna be cold too.
Yeah.
The boys coming, man, out that doggone that bougie, coming out the heat and that bouginess, man. Showtime stuff getting ready to go down there in the cold, man. Dr. Frost gonna be nipping at their bud, man.
Who are you picking, Dad?
Whenever you're in doubt, pick the West Coast. I'll take the Raiders.
Wait a minute. Is Aaron Rodgers going to play, man? He had that toe injury.
Yeah,
I forgot about his toe injury. Well, let me look and see.
I'll take the Raiders.
The Rams there.
Aaron Rodgers.
Or the Rams, yeah.
Start against her. Yeah, they said Aaron Rodgers gonna start against them.
Yeah, he's not gonna miss.
So who you picking?
I'm gonna take Green Bay.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think that I think that man, Rams gonna struggle in the cold, man.
We'll see.
And I don't think Odell Beckham is learned the playbook yet.
I think he will. He has. He's been playing football how long, man, and how many plays they got out there.
He played the last game.
You gotta get all that stuff out of your head. You have in your head from one place. You gotta come somewhere else and learn somebody else's plays. And it's freezing. And y'all ain't no chemistry developed. You ain't developed no chemistry like that.
Chemistry may be an issue. I grant it, but I think he's learned a lot of plays because you know where it really comes into effect is when you have to get up there and audible, and he's got to know the signs, not only these code words, but the signs as well. And I think, certain code words he'll know, say like, okay, if they line up and you look up and they doing a zero blitz or something, and obviously he audibles out of what, say Green Bay been playing, what they usually play cover two. They usually play cover two, so he'll probably audible out by now. That stuff he should know. That's where the real thing comes in. That's but I think he knows enough of the playbook now, and a lot of what everybody runs is very similar.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing it, obviously. But yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be probably
And I think he will help them, especially with the injury of old boy now. But I mean, ODB is not gonna be that receiver we saw 4 years ago. He's not that dude anymore.
I don't know. Let's see. In the cold and without any real time to develop any chemistry, I don't think they're gonna look too good.
But I don't think we'll ever see that dude anymore. We might see a flash here or there, but we're not gonna see that dude.
No, I don't see that consistently.
All right. So next game on the docket here is Minnesota at San Fran.
Well, the 49ers been writing that ship, man.
Yeah.
Rocking with the 49ers, man. They've been balling, man.
They have been.
My God, they've
I'm
been balling.
going San Fran also in that game because it's being played in San Fran.
And then it's West Coast team. So
Got that right.
Down for San Fran.
Got that right. They're -3 to begin with.
All right. And then you got the Cleveland versus Baltimore game for the Sunday night game.
Where they playing?
Baltimore.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my God. I'm leaning toward Baltimore just because that's where they're playing at. But see, Chubb is back, but he's Hunt's out for the season.
Well,
Man, I
coming back.
I'm gonna say, man,
Hunt's coming back this
the worst
weekend.
thing, man, is to have to pick a Baltimore team and you can't stand Baltimore team.
Well, Hunt and Conklin are coming back too. So.
you got Hunt coming back. You got Conklin coming back. Peoples-Jones is questionable, but he probably will play.
But
I'll tell you what.
Baker's not playing this week, though, is he?
Who?
Is Baker playing this week?
Oh, he's playing this week, yeah.
Dude, man.
You ain't that lucky.
Go hurt so down, man. I don't want to hear nothing about you hurt and you keep playing. You know, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Forget what Baker is or what he ain't. I'm gonna tell you this right here. They're gonna ruin him for real, just like they did RG3.
They never.
Hurt, they just kept
Cleveland didn't ruin RG3. He was trash before he got here.
Washington ruined RG3. What I'm talking about is when he got hurt and they kept playing him. This is the same thing Cleveland's doing with Odell. With Baker though. I'm like, man, sit this dude down.
Now there's been rumors that Baker's pretty much had the locker room turn against him.
Yeah, probably because they tell him, man, why don't you sit out? And he tells them no.
And It's been over the Odell thing and some other stuff. Like from what I was, Mary Kay Cabot had a bunch of stuff on that the other day that I was reading.
I don't know if I buy all that though, because my thing is this, man. If you go out there and perform, man, the boy, man, come on, you know how it is. You the leader of the team. You go out there and handle your business, man, and you do what you do.
And it's like
after the first game, they rallied. After the first game he left, they rallied, man. They came out and played some ball. And then, man, and now, they, looking.
And it's like I've always said, you can win with mediocrity, and that's about what Baker is.
And we all agree. We want to, because he was a number one recruit. He was a Heisman Trophy winner. We wanted more. We expected more. The expectation was high.
So
I guess if I was voting by my mind, I'd probably take Baltimore. But you know me, I got to vote from the heart.
all right.
So I'll take the Browns.
What about?
And besides that, Baltimore's only, I think they're -3. Let me look it up here.
It's not like Baltimore got anything on that team, man. The only thing they have is Lamar Jackson. Man, I'm going with Cleveland, man.
I'm going to say this. If you keep him in the pocket, Cleveland wins that game.
They don't have nothing but, man, that team ain't got nothing but Lamar Jackson.
All right. What about?
Let's see. They're playing up there, and it's man, what scares me is if it gets close and you really depending on Baker to make a big play, that scares me. I almost want to go with Baltimore, man.
And if you got Lamar having to go to the bathroom and come back,
They've got Cleveland listed at 3.5, or Baltimore listed at -3 or -3.5. Okay, you take the 3 points, which is home field advantage. They're thinking there's only about a half a point between them. So begrudgingly, I'll take the Browns.
Okay.
I'm going to do it too as well, just because part of my heart says I want Cleveland to win this game.
That's all. This is a hard pick for me. Because I just don't, I can't pick Dirty Birds against the Browns.
All right, then we got the Monday Night Football game, Seattle at Washington.
Washington. I'm out on Seattle. Seattle's done.
Well, Seattle hadn't played well yet.
They're done.
Washington's gotten better.
Washington is actually coming along.
They're
the team that's actually on the uptick.
I think so.
They've only got them by -1.5 or -1.
That doggone Seattle team, they fell apart.
That's pretty much a pick.
Yeah.
Hey, more West Coast though. What you think, Pat? I bet he's taking Seattle.
They fell apart, man.
I think, even though I don't really like them that well, I'll take Washington.
Okay. All right. That's going to be a good game. It's a hard pick.
And they playing in Washington.
It's such a physical team.
I'm gonna go ahead and take Washington. And I really want to see Washington win and then lose against Dallas, but.
And then the Thursday night game is Dallas at New Orleans.
Which Dallas team? The first string and the second string. Because you don't know what you get out of them, man, now. But
being played at New Orleans and the way New Orleans.
Obviously, I want
I'm still taking Dallas because realistically, Dallas has an easy schedule. You got a beat up New Orleans team, a beat up New Orleans defense, which was the best thing they had going for them, a raggedy New Orleans offense who can't score. I'm taking Dallas. And they'll probably go in there, beat up on them, and then come out, like, oh, yeah, we back. But I ain't buying all that.
Well, considering that New Orleans got their rear end beat a couple of days ago, Thursday.
Dallas should be in the,
I guess I'll take Dallas.
They got to right this shit, man.
Dallas is healthier, although, I guess hopefully CD should be back.
CD should be back.
And Cooper. Hopefully. Cooper is back also. And that was another thing, guys, and talking about this. They were asking about, you think Jerry was upset and what he was saying with Cooper? I think he was. And I respect the right to, hey, man, that dude, he make his own decision. But that
Hey,
hurts.
the Michigan boys, man, they come to play, man. Goodness, on 3rd and 2, you pick up 16. You're like, come on, man.
Yeah, well, we got a football game going on here now.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Well, the thing about it is we got to see how these boys do defensively, and that's one of the questions that I still have.
So, I guess we wrap it up and
Right.
put a ribbon on it, Sean.
It's a big game Saturday, so let's get into this game. Gives topics today, and so long.
Man, yes, sir.
Well, yeah.
Have a good week, everybody. We'll catch you, and this is what I have to say.
I'm using some more Thanksgiving dates for you. Leftover happy right now.